Next on Be More to Do More podcast.
Leaders. And as we continue to produce thought leaders and we become thought leaders and all that, right?
Right.
What does it look like to start a movement?
Ooh.
Today, we're going to talk about the 4 stages.
4 stages
of starting a movement.
Let's go.
Let's talk about it. When the last time you told somebody keep their head up cause you concerned about them. Stick and move, we can get it done. Call it unity, it ain't no way around it. Cultivating, we get motivation from the big guy. We don't play about them. Going hard for the game, showing love, always tolerate hate around it. Sticking to keeping it real, we never keep up with the scope. Wanna be more than do more than most. Wanna be more than do more than most.
This episode is brought to you by Lucilla's Cleaning Service, where your cleanliness is our business. Now, this company specializes in commercial and residential cleaning. So if you want a free quote, be sure to reach out to their website at www.lucillascleaningservice.com.
What's happening, people? Welcome back to Be More to Do More podcast, where we help you to become the person you need to become to do the things you call to do. Your boy Tone in the building and
Henry Allen Harton.
The what?
3rd.
Don't forget the
3.
I had the camera on you at first, so we had to redo that, bro. What's up, bruh?
What's up,
Back
man?
in here on a Tuesday, man. I'm just happy to be here, man.
Oh,
share
man.
some wisdom.
You happy to be here to do more?
to be here today.
Be here to do here.
Yeah, man. What we got for today, man?
Today. We're gonna talk about. So there's a lot of leaders, right? And as we continue to produce thought leaders and we become thought leaders and all that, right?
Right.
What does it look like, to start a movement?
Ooh.
And today, we're going to talk about the 4 stages.
4 stages
of starting a movement.
Let's go. I like being an ad-lib, man.
So, I'm sure you're going to insert the clip.
Yeah.
Right here.
Learned a lot about leadership and making a movement. Then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not 2 nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is overglorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
So in that clip,
Right.
I don't want to go for it, like line by line on what the guy said, but
Right.
the reality of it is, and when you're starting a movement,
Right.
you're gonna be viewed as crazy,
Look crazy.
right?
Right.
And there are gonna be people looking at you like, what is they got going on?
Right.
But all it takes is one.
That's it. That's it.
All it takes is one person.
That's it.
To believe in what you're doing.
Right.
And then the momentum starts from there.
Right. Yeah. One person.
So I guess we can talk about the first stage
What's the first stage?
of creating a movement.
You gotta look crazy. Can I say that? Crazy. All right.
Well, people say I don't know, like, I don't know. Anyway,
you can't say nothing.
Can't say nothing that everything's political. You gotta be anyway. But the first stage is the talking phase, the talker stage, right?
Okay.
And the talker stage is you say what sounds good,
Right.
And sometimes it's just like, you ever been like with just you and your friends, you and your homeboys or whatever, and like y'all like, you know what, man, it'd be a good idea is this and this.
I'm gonna start me a food truck, bro.
Yeah, that's how it be.
Well, you know how much money they make, bro?
Right.
Yeah, I know.
And that's where it starts at.
Right.
But it develops from there. But I think in that talking phase,
Right.
Or that talker stage, that's where you kind of create the formula.
Right.
You create the the vision.
Yeah.
You start to really kind of, it's all talk.
Right.
Not a lot of
action.
And not a lot of action. Right.
Mr. Action Man.
Yeah. Not a lot of action. It just
He said
coming up with the idea, the ideology.
He said, don't include me in this part.
Don't.
But I do it anyway because I be having a lot of ideas, man. So I be like, let me bounce this off, bro. Let's talk it out real quick. But go ahead, man.
But when I think about what we do, right?
Right.
And be more to do more, just the podcast, just the network, just all of this stuff, right?
Right.
Bringing a spiritual side or perspective to business.
Okay.
Right. Adding that extra flair, right, to kind of make it, because everything we do is spiritual, right?
Yeah, it is.
That includes business, right? All the moves we make, all the leadership,
right?
We have,
right?
My personal opinion, right?
And I agree. So you ain't out there looking crazy.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And I look at that industry, and there's not really a ton, of like people that are intentional
with that,
with leading business through biblical principles,
right?
Even though the biblical principles are. Or the business principles are pretty much mostly biblical principles,
right?
Is what it is.
Yeah.
But except there's one guy, right? There's a couple. There's another podcast that they kind of.
Well, the podcast. Shout them out, man. Let me know who it is.
I ain't watched them in a minute.
Who is it?
But I think it's called The Same Room.
I don't know who that is.
And they'll like start with a prayer. It's pretty legit. Like, it's pretty dope. On like when I saw it, was probably a year ago.
Man, I'm a little competitive. But
yeah. But it was pretty interesting, right? Just a shout out to them. I think it's the same. I think it's the creator of the Shade Room.
Right.
Like, she has a.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I think I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But they'll have like different celebrities come over and talk about like their spiritual journeys and like. And stuff like I remember they had Chance on there and it was pretty good conversation though. But the gentleman that like is obviously in the field that we're in, and because I remember when you first brought me.
I'm gonna tell you my complete thought process and feelings about that. So the gentleman we're talking about, you want to say it or you want me to say it?
You got it.
You sure you want to say it or you want me to say it?
No, you got it.
So we're talking about Mr. Myron Golden, sir. Mr. Myron Golden, please come to we might use your face as a thumbnail for this episode just because you got, you got it right now. But real talk.
He was the one that was crazy dancing.
Yeah, he was the crazy dancer.
He was the crazy dancer. And I was like, man, because I remember when I first saw him on Shan's podcast.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, man, this dude is like, I always like appreciate the same thing with like David and Maniti. I always appreciate when somebody can like take a biblical story or a biblical thing and like kind of make it into like a real life like and I saw him doing that on and bringing it to life on you know on Shan's podcast. I was like, okay, this dude is legit. This dude is legit. And so that was the first time I heard of him. And then and during that episode, I heard him say, you have to be more to do more. During that episode. And I don't know if it was like a few months later or what. You had came to me, and we were talking about, you know, ideas and, you know, the formulation of we were in the talking stage.
The talking,
be more to do more, right?
Got chills, bro.
And when you told me the name, I was like, oh, he stole that from Myron Golden.
Yeah, because he said the old guy with the white beard. I was like, huh? Who? So yeah, man, like this idea, I ain't gonna say it was an idea, but it was I used to use this as a hashtag back in, I think, 2017, heavily, because I was into financial coaching. It's crazy, a lot happened in 2017. So I actually had a conversation with Rashad from Earn Your Leisure when I was doing the financial coaching, and he was like at maybe 9,000 or 10,000 followers. He wasn't as big as he is now, and we actually had a phone conversation. But under my posts, I used to always put "be more to do more." You know what I mean? And I think when we first started to, you know, talk about ideas, I was just doing like reels on Instagram. So like I was talking about living from the state of abundance. You know, talking about I don't want to say God's wealth, or, you know, just what wealth look like from a godly perspective, giving biblical principles for businesses and stuff like that, and you know, kind of break it at. This is always been something that I always wanted to do, because I was told, I'm not going to tell you from who, but I was always told that they have to be separate. You know, like business, Bible, and I'm like, you know. I had this thing where, you know how somebody, for people who don't know, I'm in the church, right? Like in some churches, non-denominations, you have these titles like prophet, apostles, evangelists, and all that. And somebody prophesied over my life that, you know, I was called to be a prophet and whatever. So they were saying, so what you're doing in business doesn't matter. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, business is my passion. You know what I mean? But along the years, like, I started to see a correlation between the two and started to see biblical principles in the Bible. And I'm like, yo, people are misunderstanding. This is a life book. You can talk about biblical principles or whatever. So anyway, fast forward, man. So this has always been a thing I wanted to do. So when you and I talk, and I was like, yeah, man, you know, be more to do more. He's like, you talking about the older guy with the beard? I was like, no. And I just kind of, you know, glanced over that. But I kid you not, like, I think it was like a month or two later, he showed up. Myron Golden showed up somewhere on my, I think it was the algorithm. I don't know. But it was either an ad he was doing, or it was something on YouTube that I saw. And I'm like, you know, he was saying the 4 ways of looking at money. That's the first one I saw. I was like, man, he stole that from Think and Grow Rich. You know, not Think and Grow Rich. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I was like, 4 o'clock. I was like, you got that from Robert Kiyosaki. But he gave a new perspective, and he started throwing in biblical principles. I said, oh, I like this dude. And I think the next time he came, I was like, you heard of Myron Golden? And he was like, yeah, the old guy with the beard. I was like, oh, snap, man. And he was like, did you see? He was like,
I feel like it was like 3 months that went by. We had started like JTNS and everything. By the time I realized that, wait, so you trying to tell me that Be More to Do More didn't come from that?
Yeah.
I was so confused.
I was so confused. No. And you was like, did you see the episode where he was talking about you have to be?
Right.
Be, do, have.
Right, be, do, have.
You
That's
have
what
to
it
be
was.
to,
yeah.
and I'm like, yo, I felt the way.
Yeah.
I real talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you ain't finna come in my space, bro. I felt the way, bro. My pride was in the way, bro. Like, man, you feel this our space.
Right.
You know what I mean? We finna take this space. No, I don't care, man. I don't care what you're talking about. How many thousands of followers you got? Anyway, but real talk, man. I became like I admire the dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I became just listening to his teaching, and I realized, man, like he's been doing this a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He got like 20-something years on us.
Yeah.
So like, I have to respect that, regardless of all the testosterone, pride, or whatever. But and I was like, man, he out here by himself.
Yeah, because ain't nobody else really. I mean, at least from what I've seen, right? And I consume a lot of content,
right?
And I haven't seen anybody that's as intentional as he is,
right? On
doing that,
right. So I'm like, you get over your pride eventually, and I'm like, I like him.
I like him.
I watch him every Wednesday and Friday, and now he's dropping on Mondays. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Nah, he cool, man. Real talk. So big shout out to him for stepping out there.
Yeah.
Man.
So even though we thought that we were the crazy ones, right, and like the first dancer, right, really it was him, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so in the video it talks about, right, like the first follower.
Right. Yeah.
And the first follower is the most important because now there's validity or there's like some truth to this person, and I think like. As we continue to be consistent, we continue to, improve our brand.
Yeah.
Just do all these different things. Like, we'll be able to.
Doobies. This is Be More to Do More podcast.
And we have some exciting news for you today.
Listen, we're coming up on 1 year of Be More to Do More podcast, and we really appreciate you all for rocking with our content. But listen, y'all don't want to miss this opportunity right here.
Yes, sir. We've launched an email subscription list where you'll get bonus episodes, get behind the scenes information, as well as discounts on all merchandise and events. Best part about it, it's free.
It's free. This is the chance to dive deeper into conversations you love.
Yes, sir. So hit that subscribe button right now and join our incredible community.
Let's go.
Let's go. Lead more people and have that second follow all those and help create a whole movement.
Right.
Just from having kind of him knock down some of the walls that are out there. So
yeah, this dude he experienced some of the things I experienced. Like in church. He was a pastor, assistant pastor. So he's been doing that. I'm Reverend.
Right.
But entrepreneurship.
Reverend Robinson.
Oh gosh. Entrepreneur.
And I ain't talking about Rolls Royce.
Look, man, you got me tongue twisted over here, man. Entrepreneurship has always been something that I've been into.
Mm-hmm.
So just seeing the correlation between the two, and having him to lead the way, because clearly he's been doing it a long time, and I have to give him his credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's cool. Like, okay, cool. Now, I think of it in a way as now, I think we talked about this on the last podcast, but I'm taking myself out of the picture. Mm-hmm. It's not about who's doing it first, but it's about the movement.
Yeah.
So now we can have more moral bit. Oh, why you laughing, man?
I like it. I'm
over here growing, man. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
I like it.
I still want to be first.
The reason why I laugh because like it was more so like oh, that's deep,
right?
Because again, sometimes we get so caught up in our egos and so caught up in our whatever, but
right.
It's about the movement.
The movement. That's what it's about.
And at the end of the day, it's about leading people to Jesus Christ.
Right.
Period.
Right. It's about the movement, man. So shout out to him for being the shirtless guy, man. And, we got your back, homie.
Yeah.
Holla at your boy.
So eventually you gotta, move on to stage 2.
What stage 2? What we got?
In stage 2 is the walker phase.
Walk it out.
Walker stage, right?
Walkie talkie.
And And there's two ways to look at this.
Okay.
There's two ways to look at the Walker stage, because obviously you walking it out, you starting to put some action behind just talking it, right?
Right.
And you starting to kind of, okay, this did work. Great.
Right.
We're going to keep this in. This one didn't work as much. Let's take this out.
Right.
Let's pivot. Let's do all these different things, right?
Right.
And, but what I relate to the Walker's phase, it reminds me of and you've seen it. You've seen Netflix, right? Swamp Kings.
Swamp King, yeah.
Right. So it's a story of Florida Gator football in like early 2000s whenever Urban Meyers got there.
Right.
And Urban Meyers talked about, like, he realized that this team was talented.
Right.
But they had no discipline.
Yeah, he should have came to Avondale. Avondale football team. We needed that. Go ahead, bro.
And like he had them running the whole like they had to hit every step on the stadium.
Oh my God.
And he wanted to see who wanted it bad enough.
Oh, my
and the people and so I think also in the Walker's phase,
right,
you got to weed out the people that don't see the vision. Yeah. That don't, that's just gonna really just hold you back.
Oh, and that's risky.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's risky.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm saying it's risky because think about my old football team. I'm high school, not college, but it's risky because the people who's not for the vision, maybe the most talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about you come in, and this is why relationships are so important. Right. Because like, as you build a team and as you're trying to bring a winning culture, and it's not saying that the culture that they have is necessarily a losing culture. Right. It's just that it may be a culture of mediocrity.
Yeah. Right. That's it. Right.
And they're like, and the players would say, right. The players would say, man, it was like boot camp. Right. Like, it was like in the military, like on how stringent, Urban Meyers were in his program. Right. Yeah. But that's what it looks like to be to not only win, right, but to dominate. That's true. I think that's the thing that, like, dominate. Yeah, like that's the thing that we gotta like move past. Is just like, oh, this ain't necessary to win. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you can win a few games. Right. Without doing all this. Right. I could schedule some softer opponents. Right. And we'll probably be all right. But you ain't gonna win a national championship doing that way. Right. That's true. And I think about, like, when I was in high school, we football is year round. We had 1 month off. Like literally 1 month. So that was another problem with Avondale. Go ahead, man. What was that? Nah, when football season was over, it was over. It was over. I mean, they'll try to conjure in players to do track or wrestling or something like that. Mm-hmm. I went with that, bro. I was probably one of the ones who they would have got rid of back in the day. Yeah, you got to get on the team. You want to last, huh? Nah, I wouldn't last at all. Go ahead, bro. But yeah, I mean, like we would, so football season starts in the summer. Let's call it the summer. Let's call it. No, all right. Spring. Let's call it. Let's say spring. Let's take spring, right? Yeah, spring. Let's take spring, right? So spring starts in March. Yeah. Right. Well, in February, before spring even starts, you have these morning workouts. Oh. Okay. And these morning workouts, you're in the gym. You doing mat drills. You're doing all kind of, running kind of, suicides, all that stuff, right? Like, right. And then, March gets here and spring starts, right? Right. So spring, happens technically for 2 weeks, but really it's like a month. Yeah. Shorts and helmets and shirts. Real light work. But we're lifting weights throughout the year. So, April is more of a down month, right? It's not, you still lifting weights. Yeah. May, so really the only month, because you're in school at that time too, so like you're lifting weights, like you're constantly, like it's year round, right? But in June, May, typically school is over in May. Mm-hmm. June is like the 1 month that you have really off. Oh wow! Like that's like the only month that you have that you really have. You're finna go through some trauma. Because in July, summer workouts start. Oh my God! And then you got what's else in July? Not summer workouts, but also you got
When, July? Talking about
what is it called?
2 days?
2 a day. Training camp. Training camp, right?
I remember them.
Yeah, training camp in July as well. Then August, obviously the season starts in August, and you go through really depending on how good you are. Sometimes it's like November, right? Sometimes it's December, right? We were national champions. We were national. We were number 2 in the nation, but
right. Just throw that out.
Just throw it out there. But you go to a state championship. You're probably going to be playing until December, right? And then, but December comes around, and like you talked about, we transition right into track.
Oh, yeah.
So it's track, and then so really and you're lifting weights throughout the entire year, all year, except for that 1 month, right, in June, right. So like because you're in school, so right, yeah. But my point is that like you got to figure out, what does intensity look like in your field, right, to be able to bring home a championship, because that's what it's about, winning a championship and dominating your opponents.
How do we do that here at Be More to Do More? Let's see.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
What you got?
I don't know. I ain't running no stadium though.
Well, I think it's stuff that we kind of already doing, right? Like it's the reels, right? You post some reels consistently, right? Definitely. It's all about consistency. Like, and Jarvis talked about it, at dinner the other night, right? Yeah. Like it's all about,
showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, showing up. I know that for sure. We have to show up. So, yeah.
Like, and it's so what's so crazy about it is, like, you do it so often or you do it so much that it just becomes normal. Like,
it does. It does. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it becomes a lifestyle. It becomes a lifestyle, right? Right. Yeah. So that's pretty much like the walker's phase.
That's the walkie phase.
So it's part of it is you walking it out, you're starting to put some action into place.
Right.
And the other part of it is you're weeding out a lot of the
people who ain't about that action.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're going to slow you down anyway.
Bars. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That makes sense.
Third phase.
What's the third phase?
The third phase is the stalker's phase.
This is gonna be interesting. What's the stalker phase, man? Like what is that?
It's consistently following up,
right,
to make sure that almost like it's part of, like, you kind of did a little bit of this in the walker's phase where you kind of start to kind of see what works,
right?
But now you know what works,
and you just following,
and it's just like it's really in my opinion.
You about to say what I'm thinking? Go ahead.
It's like what you got to say?
Nah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because I'm thinking I'm gonna be wrong.
Nah, go ahead. I was
gonna say like it's like the executing phase.
Yeah.
What you gonna say?
I mean, we've heard numerous of people say this, including your man from ET.
Okay.
You got to be what you call it? Myron Golden said this too.
Mm-hmm.
What's that word I'm looking for? Not addicted, but
committed.
No, it's more than commitment. It's not crazy. I'm gonna find it, bro. But execution, we'll say execution.
Yeah, and I think like
obsessive. How did we did a podcast?
I like that. We did do a podcast.
You got to be obsessed. Yeah,
I like that. I like that better. I like that word better because like it takes a high level of obsession to consistently follow up.
That's true.
Like,
yeah.
So stalker,
obsession,
right? Right.
Bars. Oh my God.
Thought leaders right here.
Yeah.
Man,
you already know, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Be more to do more. Y'all ain't ready, bro. So,
it's the stalker phase. Again, you continuously following up, and you become obsessed with like, and what I will also say, is this a strong part of building the culture that you want to build? Because like, it's all, and I had a conversation with. All right, so I had a conversation with a manager recently, and they're like, man, I'm doing everything. Like I'm talking about it all the time. Like, I'm talking about it.
No.
I'm like, okay.
No.
But what behaviors are you driving?
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, if you're not driving behaviors, it don't matter how much you're talking about it, because again, that's phase number one,
right? That's
of
true.
a movement,
that's
right?
True.
We're on the third phase right now. You can't you can't just talk about it.
I see.
Are you following up
right
with them to make sure it's done, and make sure it's done the way that you want it done?
That's true. That's true. I'm pretty sure they got a process, a failure in their process, somewhere.
Yeah, it's them. I mean, and I mean in the nicest way, right? Like, but
they don't have a process at all.
They have a process, right? They have a process. But the part of the process is not working. That's not working is the feedback. You have to make sure that, okay, you set these expectations,
right?
But if you're not following up to make sure that this gets done, it doesn't matter what type of process you have,
right? That's true.
Because how do you know that they're doing it?
Oh, so they're skipping parts of the process, the feedback.
Right. Okay. Like the process is not getting done.
Right.
Because there's no follow-up.
Okay. Gotcha.
But you have a process.
Right.
But it's not being done because as a leader, you got to follow up.
Oh, makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. I had a thought, man. Dang, I lost it though. But
you know the crazy part of it, like that's why I'm not a 100% entrepreneur to this day.
Why is that?
Because of follow up.
Oh yeah.
The stalkers phase is the phase that like I struggle at.
What in what aspects though?
So like when I was out here slinging that coffee, baby.
Why
when I was out here doing it, right? Like. Again, we talked about it on the previous episode, but like I would give somebody, a sample,
right?
And I would get in my head on it and not follow up with that person, or I may follow up one time and they hadn't tried or whatever, but I wouldn't follow up again because I don't want to bother them.
I feel you.
I ain't want to be a stalker.
Well, I think it's different when it comes to people though. Like if the process including people. Like relationships, like customer.
Okay,
you know what I mean. Now, if it's something like following up, like with my results, like okay, let me follow up with the system that I put in place, to see what's working, not working, fine tune.
Well, we're talking to leaders, right? We're talking about leading a movement,
right?
If you're leading a movement, it's going to involve people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it comes to relationship, like that's like me calling you like 10 times a day. Or 10 times a week. Now
that's not what it takes.
Well, from what I learned in corporate, we have a three time deal.
Okay.
Like, I follow up 3 times throughout the week. If I get no response, then it's like every 3 months. And then every 6 months. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm gonna just follow up. I'm gonna keep you in my book of business. But okay, I'm gonna reach out Monday. No response. I'm gonna reach out Wednesday. Hey, talk to you. Then I reach out. Did you have some time to think about it? All right, I'm gonna give you a call Friday. Okay, cool. I'm gonna give you another 3 months. Now I follow up in 3 months, then 6 months. 6 months, no, I might just put them out, take them out of my book of business.
Right.
I kind of took that module. They call it consultative selling from the system I came from before I started. So I'm like, okay, cool, 3, then 6. 3 months, 6 months, a year, something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. I like that because, like, I think back to because I'm trying. When you make so much money, right? Like, them taxes be. I feel like I want to do a whole episite on taxes. I feel
we can do it, bro. I'll take you there, man.
But J. Cole, like, I pay taxes. So much taxes don't make sense, right? Like. They said my dollar's supposed to build roads in schools, but lately I ain't been convinced, right? Yeah, that's the reality, right?
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out, okay, like how can I pay less taxes in a sense of, how can I keep more money in my pocket?
We got a business,
right?
It's right off, man.
Right. So I end up like reaching out to this I don't know, tax guru pretty much,
right?
Or their team, and I ended up not making a decision on going through with it, and they called me, I think like the next week.
Right.
I was like, nah, I think I'm, whatever. Oh, okay. Well, we get some more time over them. Okay, cool. Like the next month they called me, and then I just got a call like last week from them.
Right.
And it's just like they consistently following up because they know my situation may change. And guess what? Guess what else I'm on?
What's that?
The email list.
Oh yeah. So hey, that's marketing, man. Yeah. And you may, it's really to keep them top of mind because it's branding too, bro.
Right.
So like, if you following up, you may not know, you may not want it now. Maybe not even 3 months, not even 6 months.
Right.
But next year you might be like, hey, you know what? That's who I'm gonna reach out to. They've been consistent.
Yep.
And top of mind, and that's how you increase market share.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. So,
all right.
Yeah. So that's step 3, right? Or phase 3, the Starkers phase.
Right.
And then we move on to the last phase.
What we got,
which is. Ooh.
What's that? What's that?
So let me laugh. So I was with somebody at the football season we ran track.
Yeah.
And I don't remember I feel like it was Albany, but like we there was this one track you got different track meets, right?
Yeah.
And there was this one place we would go, and they'll be like if somebody getting hawked down, so it's the hawkers. So phase 4
right
is the hawkers phase.
Okay, let's get into
right.
Okay.
And the hawkers phase is they do what it takes to succeed. Right. And you ever heard somebody say they halt you down?
Yeah, they halt you down.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it'd be like. It would be like we'll be at a track meet and somebody getting halt down.
Right.
You'll hear everybody in the stadium is like, woo, 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 woo. And so everybody running
right
is like looking back because they know that somebody's coming.
Ooh, I got chills.
Somebody's coming.
Right.
And it was crazy. But right. but that's what it is, right? Like that's the final phase of starting a movement is
right.
You better run. Ooh. And you better run as fast as you can. And you got to hawk them down, and you got to succeed. No matter what, you got to be successful.
You want to know something?
Success creates the movement. Like people don't care. Like people don't care about they don't care about all the hard stuff that they have to do.
Right.
If there's an end result of them winning.
Right. So,
but if I got to go through all this and I ain't winning,
I ain't doing it.
What?
It's gonna show in their work.
Yeah.
It's gonna show in their work. What made me think about that? 2 things. Myron Golden, we hawking, man. I'll just play. Now we actually want to work with you, man. We want to work with you, man. But I'm thinking about Jay-Z and 50 Cent.
Okay.
Jay-Z said on an interview with the Breakfast Club, he said, hey, he was telling his people, he was telling Memphis Bleak, hey man, y'all better get on it. 50 Cent coming. And this before 50 Cent hit mainstream.
Right.
This before In the Club came out, because he saw the key ingredient in 50 Cent.
Yeah.
He saw him hawking.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that and when you said that, I instantly thought, he was like, yo, 50 Cent is coming. And then he said when he came with that In the Club, he said, there you go. There you go.
Go, shawty. It's your birthday.
There you go. He here now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it gives you an outside perspective too.
But before
go ahead. No, go.
But look what he's created.
Right.
Like he done transition just from music.
Right.
He in movies, he in television shows.
A mogul.
He's a mogul.
Right. Yeah.
He created a movement.
Right. Exactly. And see, and that's the thing, man. Like people, I believe this. I believe that if you follow now, okay, what's hawking? What's that mean again?
Hawking, they do what it takes to succeed.
I believe it, even if you're consistent in the first 3, that hawking is just instant. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people will sense it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, nah, they coming.
Yeah.
You know, you probably ain't even known right now. They coming.
Yeah.
I feel like people feel that way about us. Though.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you see it in it, like, I ain't gonna go through it, but like, it's it's clear.
Right.
It's clear, like, oh, shoot, like, what Tony Henry are doing, like, it's special.
Yeah.
You know, and like, and as special as we are, right, like, there's gonna be more people coming after us that's gonna be even better than us. And that's what creates the movement.
And we're gonna bring them on
behind you.
We're gonna bring them on Be More to Do More.
Maybe. Right. But that's how you create a movement. It's not about you.
That's true. It's the movement.
It's the movement. And that's in the end of the day, right? We have to be able to create a movement.
The movement.
To be able to we have to create more leaders to be able to enhance the movement, and that's what the end result is.
That's true. What's
the main thing? The main thing.
Keep the main thing. The main. You keep saying that, man. Right. Keep the main thing. Keep focus. Right. That's what you're saying.
Focus, man.
Focus. Yeah, man. I feel like this is a movement, man. What we're doing. Myron Golden being in the forefront. Or whatnot. You know who else created a movement? Extension. Wasn't that
Triple X?
Who passed away?
Yeah. Triple X Extension.
They called it the category, the genre of music he was doing was called depressed rap or something. It was a whole
emo rap. Was it emo?
Yeah, that's what it is. I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah. Anyway,
I know Juice WRLD is in that too.
Juice WRLD. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah,
that was that.
But the reality, right? If you want to be elite,
right?
Like, you cannot buy people's excuses on why it can't happen.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, it's impossible.
Right. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, and like, so my leaders out there, all my doobies out there.
Doobies!
The time is now for you to get crazy, right? And it is the lyric of the week, right?
Wait, hold on. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
This is the lyric of the week. Does that make me crazy? Probably. By Gnarls Barkley.
Probably.
So, and people are not calling you crazy. Here's the reality. If people are not calling you crazy, if the people around that you're around are not calling you, man, you are insane. The amount of work that you're putting in right now, you have lost your mind.
Wow. If
they are not calling you crazy, then you ain't working hard enough.
Ain't nobody called me crazy yet, man. I think I gotta go.
I definitely, I know people. Yeah.
People call you crazy?
Oh yeah.
I don't get called crazy.
Cause like, and this is a version of being called crazy.
Right.
That's not realistic.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we need to do that. Like, those are versions of someone telling you that you crazy.
Right. I guess I don't have those people around me. My wife used to. Chris Ann?
Yeah.
She used to, but she known me like 13 years. So I'd be like, babe, I'm finna whoop. Here we go again. We finna let me buckle my seatbelt. That's how she is, man. So now family have.
Yeah, family. Yeah, those be the first ones.
Family have, but nowadays I don't let family too much know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
because what Lil Baby saying our last lyric of the day is beyond a mental.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so the capacity at which we're operating from is, and I don't say this by no means looking down on nobody. Mm-hmm. It's just we're operating at a level at which you can't see yet because, but that took all these 3 levels to get there. You know what I mean? Like, first it started with talking. Oh boy, that crazy. I don't know about that. You talking like, that ain't. I can't see that happening.
Right.
You know what I mean? To walking. You know what I mean? And to what's the third one?
Stalking.
To stalking and just being obsessed with it.
Yep.
To hawking, man.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep. I mean, and the reality of it is, right? You're already a winner. Like, you're already like, the fact that you are leading somebody,
right?
Or that you're starting a movement,
right?
Like, and it's something I always tell, like, the people that I'm interviewing,
right?
Like, the fact that you made it to me,
right,
means that you've done something right in your life. Like, you graduated from school, which is an accomplishment in itself, right? You have some type of service, sales, or leadership experience, right?
Right.
So regardless if they get the job or not, or whether I hire them or not, like, I want them to understand that, like,
you was considered.
Well, no, like, you're great.
Right, yeah.
You may not be for me, And you may not fit the mold that we're looking for, and that
right.
you know, and fit the tangibles that you have to have, and you know, even the tangibles, I guess. But you can go somewhere else,
right?
If it's not here,
right,
and produce greatness.
That's true.
So only thing you're missing right now. It's getting a little crazy.
A little crazy. I mean, a little crazy. A little off your rockers.
To wrap everything up, right? Mm-hmm. The 4 stages of a movement is the first stage is the talking phase,
right?
Where you start, you have to kind of get the ideas out and say what sounds good, right? Kind of get it, you know, really figure it out from a vision perspective.
Right.
The next phase is the walker's phase, where again there's 2 parts.
Right.
You're gonna have where you're walking it out, right? You're starting to kind of figure out your plan and how everything's gonna work. But also people are gonna walk out your life,
right?
Right, and you have to deal with that because they're gonna not put the work in that it's gonna take to sustain the movement, right?
Right, yeah.
And then you have the stalker's phase where you have to continuously follow up, where you have to really become obsessed.
Get obsessed
with becoming successful,
right?
And then the last part of the of you know creating a movement is the hawker's phase.
You hawk them down, boy.
Where you're gonna do whatever you get to take to succeed.
Yeah.
So you better start running because I'm coming.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Hey man, I think I'm good.
Yeah, you good?
Yeah, man, I think we learned a valuable lesson today.
Yeah.
You know, we broke down the 4. I keep saying 3.
4, yep.
Because we broke down the 4 pillars here.
4 stages of a movement.
4 stages of a movement, man. Y'all ready to y'all ready to get a movement started? Let's go, man. Y'all be sure to like, share, subscribe to this information, man. Hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Y'all hit the bell, man. Let's get this information out of here, man. And comment. We got to comment, man. Let us know what's up. Bruh, thing is, we're not doing this for us.
Yeah.
I love the conversation.
Yeah.
But we are here on this journey together in leadership and in business. We try to make this thing work together.
Yeah.
Y'all comment. Let us know what y'all like, don't like. Let us know what y'all want to hear. Let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we out, man. We out.
Tell you told somebody keep their head up, cause you concerned about them. Stick and move, we can get it done. Call it unity, it ain't no way around it. Cultivating, we get motivation from the big guy. We don't play about them. Going hard for the game, showing love, bones, tolerate.